all about humanity.
And here we are back again with yet another bullish Bitcoin show. Welcome everybody. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell button, retweet this, do all the normal stuff because I would really appreciate it. I'm Brian, the UKBitcoinMaster. This is the Bullish Bitcoin Show, and today is Monday the 25th of August 2025 for the timestamp. Very quickly, if you are new to this channel, even if you're not new, you've got to read the disclaimer below. Do your own research, people. Do not come looking for financial advice for me to tell you what the price is going to do, charts, predictions, TA. You won't find that on this channel. You're going to have to go somewhere else. I'm just a UK guy on the internet that decides to talk about Bitcoin for 30 minutes twice a week. So go do your own research. If you are new, or even if you're not new and you haven't done this, please follow me somewhere else. This is going out live as we speak on Rumble. In fact, let me just mute that, otherwise that's going to go off. It's going out live on Rumble. There are people in the chat on Rumble as well, so follow me there. If YouTube takes this channel down for any reason, I can simply continue live streaming on Rumble, or my UK Bitcoiner backup channel that you will find here if you click the link in the show notes that takes you to my link tree page. So do it. Quick shout out to show sponsor number one, the Best of Exmoor. We are getting extremely close to our second year annual vacation at one of their beautiful cottages in the West Country of the UK. Check them out, people. Number one, they're Bitcoiners. Number two, if you scan my QR code that comes up now, they can see that my show is sending traffic their way. Even if you're not buying a vacation, holiday we call it here, you're just looking around, at least Chris will see that me promoting it is worthy of him being my show sponsor. So please at least do that. You can pay any way you choose, as you can see it there. So do check out the Best of Exmoor. Their ratings are 9.5 to 10 out of 10 on thousands on, I believe it's Trustpilot. So incredible reviews. Of course, the only thing we can't guarantee, particularly here in the UK, is the weather. So let's hope in a few weeks' time the weather's okay for us. Okay, so back to me and you. Who have we got in the chat? Let's have a look. Chelsea Baz is with us. Good to see you, buddy. Glad to know that the rabbit hole video is doing well, Baz. That's the name of the game. If you're a Bitcoiner and you haven't gone to YouTube and typed in Hello Earth Rabbit Hole, there's a black and white image there, thumbnail of their YouTube video. They're in my chat. They're a Bitcoiner. So go show them a bit of love and click that like button and reshare that song, because it is a song about the money being broken. So Baz, great to have you in the house. Glenn coming in from Canada, good to see you. JB Bitcoiner is with us. ABW. Big Mike is in the house. Good to see you, Mike. C Frost Flooring is with us. Vinny Rondo, Staten Island in the house. We've got John G with us. Elaine, Mrs. UK, definitely in the house, because she's downstairs. We've got, who else have we got? Yorkie Bitcoin is with us. Johnny Midas, good to see you. Bram VDB is in the house. MTG London. God, that's a freaking mouthful when I'm trying to run a show. Hey, good to have you in the house as well. Don't forget to smash the like button, do all the normal stuff, people. I would really appreciate it. If you want to get my attention during the show and you're in the live chat, then all you've got to do is copy and paste my name, UK Bitcoin Master, paste it in there, leave a space, then a message, and it will light up for me in orange. Not you, it will just light up for me if you spelt my name correctly, and I'll then hopefully catch it out of the corner of my eye and give you guys a shout out. You'll have to forgive me, I've got a new window open now that tells me if I've got a stream issue, and at the moment it says the stream is excellent. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Just double checking I haven't missed anybody. No, I haven't. Right, so look, The price is all over the place. It is up and down like a fiddler's elbow. What are we at the moment? That's just moved. Can you Adam and Eve it? The price has just moved. Yeah, 112,271. Let me get rid of that. So, we're down 12K from the all-time high. But look, if you're new to Bitcoin, this is what Bitcoin does. It goes down when you least expect it. It goes up when you least expect it. So the argument is all you've got to do is stay in the game. All you've got to do is not try and be cute and try and time it and sell when you think it's going to go down and then buy back in when it's coming up. Because I'm telling you, nothing to do with me, just all the podcasters that I listen to. If you try and do that, you will get wrecked. ABW, vision and audio, all good. Rock on, dude. Thank you very much. There you go. I saw that in orange. It lit up and I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Trouble is, people, for those that are relatively new to this channel, you won't know that I've got 5 monitors going. I've got an iPhone running down here. It's just so much in this studio. It allows me to run the show like I do, as professionally as I do, in terms of backdrop, in terms of how the slides look. It allows me to do all of that by running something that you may or may not have seen called a Stream Deck. Look, it's got all the buttons here that let me press the buttons to go live, to pause, to mute, to do all that sort of stuff, to change scenes. The challenge is sometimes looking over at the chat is really difficult to do when I've got all this lot going on. And as my lovely wife would point out, and did point out a bit earlier, my name's Brian and I can only do one thing at a time. Certainly in the house and the home, one thing at a time. Whereas you women, you can flipping multitask. And yet somehow I manage to multitask with all this lot going on. So the thumbnail talked about ignore the price swings. Bitcoin is on track for 1 million still. And that's the key. Zoom out. And the first thing I want to show you, if we go over to the desktop, is this one. I nicked this from Bitwise, and I want you to look at this for a minute, people. And it says, as time horizon grows, Bitcoin losses fall off. So on the left, if you hold Bitcoin for 1 day, you got a 46.9% chance you're going to lose money. Hold it for a week, 44%. A month, 42. 1 quarter or 3 months, 36. If you hold it for a year, 23.5%. And if you hold it for 3 years, 0.7% that you're going to get negative returns, just 0.7%. And then if you hold it for 10 years, 0% that you're going to lose money. And this is why I bang on this show tirelessly. Give yourself a 10-year plan. Start stacking. Keep doing that for 10 years. Don't look left. Don't look right. Don't look in the rearview mirror. Focus. Because as Bitwise have said, and they are way clever than I am, if you hold it for 10 years, there is 0 chance that you will be out of pocket. There's more like 100% chance you're going to be doing very nicely financially. So I just wanted to put that out there. Couple of negatives before we get to the positives. Victim loses $91 million in Bitcoin in social engineering scam. What is that about? And I'm showing you this so you're mindful. Blockchain sleuth Zach XBT uncovered a high-profile social engineering attack on Thursday, with the victim losing 783 Bitcoin, worth around $91 million. Can you imagine that? The scam occurred on August 19 and involved the attacker posing as a support agent for a hardware wallet before duping the victim into handing over wallet credentials. Never, ever take a phone call from a hardware wallet provider and exchange. I will caveat that Coin Corner here in the UK are excellent. And sometimes if you've got an issue, you can connect with them on a phone call. But generally, I can tell you now, after having a Coinbase account since 2017, Coinbase won't call you. They don't even return your emails. And you can wait 1 to 3 months before they even look at rectifying any type of problem you might have. Absolutely disgraceful, in my opinion. Steve Redding, good to see you, dude, as always. So just be mindful. If they email you, don't click on any links. I am constantly getting emails from what looks like an extremely legitimate website called Coinbase, and it's saying there's an issue with my account and I need to do this before I can carry on trading. Well, I don't trade, so that's a lie. And then the first thing I do is I open my legitimate Coinbase account and I click to see if there is any notifications in Coinbase relative to that email I just got. And there never is. People, they are sophisticated. They will make you believe they are genuine. Whatever you do, do not fall for it. Phil C, yo, good to see you in the house, my good man. Okay, what else have we got? Harvard economist admits he was wrong about Bitcoin crashing to $100. Now, those of you that are deep down the rabbit hole, you know, the likes of Phil C, constantly on Twitter, Johnny Midas, who else have we got? Lance Huddle, good to see you, Lance, and several others. You would have already seen or heard about this, but there's going to be people that haven't. And the challenge is regular people listen to these renowned economists. What did he say? Harvard economist Kenneth Rogoff, who once predicted Bitcoin would more likely crash to $100 before it hit 100,000, admitted that a lot has changed since his comments 7 years ago, though he seemingly still hasn't come around to Bitcoin. Quote, almost a decade ago, I was the Harvard economist that said Bitcoin was more likely to be worth $100 than 100K. What did I miss? He wrote on X, referring to a segment on CNBC Squawk Box in March 2018. Rogoff is a former chief economist of the International Monetary Fund, bah humbug, say no more, and also author of Our Dollar, Your Problem, a book published in May. In 2018, he said that government regulation would trigger a drop in Bitcoin prices. However, since the Trump administration won the November election, Bitcoin broke 100K in December 2024 and has surged more than 80% to a new all-time high. i.e., do not take notice of these talking heads. They will influence you. They will tell you it is all over and Bitcoin's price is going to tank downwards. Ignore it. You've got to be very careful what channels, what talking heads you follow and listen to. You will never, ever get that type of BS from my channel. All I ever try and do is just bring you any breaking news and anything pertinent that I feel is worth bringing to the table to help just one solitary person that might be new and looking at this not make some crazy mistake and then have all their family's hard-earned wealth stolen by a pump and dump or a rug pull scam. That's why I do this show. These people who constantly FUD BTC have caused so much damage. So many people have missed out on the BTC gains because of these hacks. Do you know something? I couldn't agree more, and that's why I read that out. I saw you saying howdy, Brian. Thanks, Phil. Good to see you. But the point is, you've got to go and try and find the signal through all of the noise that is out there. And believe me, there is just so much noise. There is so much BS. And I'm shocked that my channel that is pure Bitcoin signal always is still as small as it is after 7+ years of live streaming religiously 6 p.m. here in the UK every Monday and every Thursday. But you know what? I'm not taking any sponsors that make me speak their narrative, so that'll never happen. And I've got to put crypto somewhere in my bio to get the numbers to go crazy, which, do you know what? It ain't happening. Let's move on. Okay, this one. BlackRock has accumulated 3% of all Bitcoins. How safe is it? What is this about? In terms of the number of Bitcoins, BlackRock has surpassed most crypto exchanges and even large companies such as Strategy, not MicroStrategy, get your grammar right, magazine. Only the creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, currently has more Bitcoins than BlackRock, but even his lead is shrinking. Interesting fact, BlackRock does not store Bitcoin itself. This is done by Coinbase Custody, which keeps private keys in cold offline storage and has insurance for those assets. But you know what? Not your keys, not your coins. And if you are not holding your keys, even if you are storing it with Coinbase through BlackRock's ETF, it's all you hold is an IOU. People, if you're new, you've got to learn about what it means to own the bearer instrument. Never before in human history has the regular person like you or I been able to hold the bearer instrument, unless it was maybe, a gold coin, or if you're really lucky, a small gold bar. Now, you can hold the bearer instrument and you can hold your portion of the world's money that can't be debased in the future, can't be manipulated, can't be printed more of it. So you are not going to have that inflated away. And that is why it's like gold dust. And that is why, as the space evolves, Bitcoiners should be looking to safely and securely and responsibly loan against their Bitcoin and keep the underlying BTC for the upside that is most definitely coming. If you believe that Bitcoin is going to $1 million, you should never, ever, ever be selling your BTC. Okay. Moving on. Tether appoints former White House Crypto Council head Bo Hines as strategic advisor. This is weird what's going on, whether he was unhappy with what happened at the White House, whether they put him in that position so he would get airtime, people would get to know him. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not even going to try and guess, hypothesize, whatever it is. Point is, he's left the government. He's now going to work for Tether. And I'm telling you, what an amazing company Tether is in terms of its per head value per capita. It's absolutely crazy. One of the most successful businesses on earth. Tether has appointed Bo Hines as strategic advisor for digital assets and US strategy. Hines, who recently served as executive director of the White House Crypto Council under President Trump, will take on the role immediately to help guide the company's US initiatives and policy engagement. So this is all playing out. We shouldn't try and work out what it's doing, how it's doing it, why it's doing it. All we should be focusing on is front running everything that's coming. That's my advice. That is the most simple thing you can do. Buy it, store it offline and secure your keys, and learn what you can as you go along. Follow channels like mine and others, by the way. I'm not just pumping my own channel, but you should be, because I tell it as it is with no BS. And then just learn as you go along, and you're front running 95% plus of the world's plebs, companies, and indeed nation states. Mr. Six is in the house. Stephen O'Neill is with us. Good to have you, people. Smash the like button and retweet, people. I implore you. Here's another one. Philippines congressman pushes strategic Bitcoin reserve bill with 10,000 BTC gold. Filipino lawmaker Representative Migs Villafuerte has introduced House Bill 421, which seeks to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the Philippines. The bill tasks the Banco Central NG Filipinas with acquiring 10,000 BTC over the next 5 years. Under the proposal, the BSP would be responsible for building a national Bitcoin reserve aimed at strengthening financial security by diversifying the country's monetary assets. Quote, "It is vital for the Philippines to stockpile strategic assets such as Bitcoin to serve important national interests, such as providing financial stability, amongst other things." If you watching this channel right now in Bitcoin right now, if you can't see the writing on the wall and all you're focusing on It's what's going on with the day-to-day price of Bitcoin and getting high and getting low and getting elated and then depressed. You are not looking at the right information online, people. You're just not. What we're looking at, what we are witnessing is the changing of the guard. We are looking at 100+ years of governments controlling monetary policy, interest rates, money printing, keeping other countries and their citizens oppressed. That is all changing. Bitcoin is freedom money. And I'm telling you now, the then they fight you stage is still out there in the future, because at the moment, the US government sees Bitcoin as no threat at all. It is literally a competitor to gold. When it starts to threaten their homogeny, I can never say that flipping word, then I'm telling you now, watch them fight it. And your job and my job is to lock up your keys in cold storage, make sure it's absolutely rock solid secure, and then just learn about it. That is all you got to do. Torp Hoddle, good to see you in the house. Thank you for being here. What else have we got? Trump this is actually a bit of a clickbait thumbnail or clickbait article, because it says Trump predicts Bitcoin will reach $1 million and declares himself a Bitcoin maxi. Well, when I saw this article, I went, wow, Donald Trump has finally come out and said, I'm a Bitcoin maxi. When you read into it, it's one of his sons. But hey ho. Eric Trump says Bitcoin will one day trade at more than $1 million, calling himself a Bitcoin maxi during a public appearance in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The son of US President Donald Trump made the remarks at the SALT conference on Wednesday, where he spoke about the future of digital assets and his growing role in the industry. Trump has placed himself firmly in the camp of those who believe Bitcoin is the future of money, and I sit squarely and firmly in that camp, and I'm hoping you do too. Don't just voice it in my chat. You got to believe it through your core being. Otherwise, you will not do what is necessary. He has been very bullish about his digital asset prediction this year. For example, as discussed earlier, Trump encouraged banks to embrace crypto, should have been Bitcoin, or risk extinction if they fail to update their system. So he's saying it, and he is a big fish, being one of the Trump family. So, we're in the right place for sure. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says Bitcoin primed to hit 1 million by 2030. People, we are almost out of 2025. That's 4 years out. And many commentators are saying it is going to happen way before that. But we are just 4 short years away from looking at a $1 million Bitcoin, which is actually only a 10x from here, which is so achievable, so doable. It's crazy. Eddie Willers, good to see you. So, in a recorded conversation with payments firm Stripe co-founder and president John Collison, Armstrong says Bitcoin could reach a price of 1 million by 2030. Coinbase co-founder and CEO Brian Armstrong says Bitcoin could appreciate to a 7-figure price in just a few short years. And according to the Coinbase CEO, rising demand for Bitcoin could catalyze Bitcoin's explosive rally. Quote, the United States government now has a strategic Bitcoin reserve. If you asked me 5 years ago, someone would have said, you're crazy. United States government is not going to officially hold Bitcoin. And you know what? August 2025, and here we are. The US government holds Bitcoin. They are building something in the background that I'm sure there's going to be a huge announcement at some point. Adam Meister, good to see you. Thank you for being here. The thing is, I don't trust Brian Armstrong, who does just a whole bunch of shit coining with Coinbase. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I just would not leave or park my money there. Quick shout out to the Orange Pill app. you want to get on it. We're on it. We're lifetime members now. It is an app for Bitcoiners. You can use my link in the show notes. Get yourself 5,000 sats paid by OPA once you've taken out even a trial subscription. So do check that out. It is an awesome app for Bitcoiners. You got to follow By the Book Accountancy. This is the crypto accountant, I believe, on Twitter or X, Robin Thatcher. Him and I had a good conversation for about an hour 3 or 4 days ago. Let me tell you something, people. This dude knows his stuff. He really does. And he is helping so many Bitcoiners in the UK prepare ready for what's coming. But I would say one thing, and this is not to dox anyone or anything. He has two stances. One stance is what he legitimately must put out there because he runs an accountancy firm and he can't flower things up, tell things as they truly are. Get a personal conversation with him and he'll tell you how things truly are. By the Book Accountancy, show sponsors, also known as Crypto Tax Help. If you're in the UK, you can book an initial 30-minute consultation with Robin. I've recently just had one. I've asked him also for a link that I can put in the show notes where you can click that link. It goes to his diary. You book an appointment and then he knows it's come through me, because I've had it recently where several people have said, they forgot to go and tell him that they've come through my channel. So this is important to me because I want him to know that my channel is actually leading people towards his services, even if they are a free 30-minute consultation. Yeah, Yorkie Bitcoin has just put in the chat, Robin is great, reach out to him. And I couldn't agree more, people. Okay, been changing tweets like the clappers with everything that's been coming out today. But here we go. Radar with Archie. UK inflation surges to 3.8%, the highest in 18 months. And is it little wonder we then get tweets like this from Roxham TV? From The Telegraph, Britain heading towards IMF bailout. Economists warn of a 1970s-style debt crisis unless Chancellor Rachel Reeves changes stance. Well, let me tell you now, that ain't going to happen, the stupid woman. But I'm telling you now, this country is in the crapper. We are now losing more millionaires than China, according to a podcast I watched yesterday. More millionaires, and yet the UK is minute compared to China. We've got between 60 and 70 million population. They've got over 1 billion, and we're losing more millionaires than they are. I watched an interview on Talk YouTube channel the other day with Charlie Mullins. He founded Pimlico Plumbers in London, now worth billions. He now lives in Marbella. He was really blaspheming. I'm not saying this. He was. He was saying we should poison their coffee and get rid of them. We should lock them up in prison. He didn't care. He said, I'm not in Marbella to avoid tax. He said, I'm paying my taxes down here. He said, I'm in Marbella and paying taxes because I ain't giving them to that corrupt UK government. This is what we're up against. They're going to go the same way as Germany. From all accounts, they are going to sell the Bitcoin that they've got. And look what Germany did. They sold 54,000 BTC when it was just under $58,000 a coin. Over 6 billion today. You got Bitcoin policy in the UK beating the drum to them not to do this. The way they don't have to do it legally is change some wording on one document, according to an interview with Bitcoin Policy's Freddie New that I did a few weeks back. All they got to do is change the wording on one document and they don't need to sell that Bitcoin. The most bizarre thing ever. But you know what? The UK's, I won't swear, it is crapped out. It really, really is. And you can see why people are leaving. Now, this one's old hat, but I wanted to show you something. This is what happened based on one man in Jackson Hole last Friday, mumbling and bumbling through being hawkish or dovish and what they might do. What did we see? Obviously, we've retraced back now. But when I say stay in the market, I mean it, because this is how fast you can get wrecked if you try and time it and you are not watching what is going on out there in the US. Another solo miner scores $371,000 and wins a block reward against all odds. So get a BitAxe or something and solo mine. Low energy, you probably won't win, but somebody's got to. It's like saying, well, somebody down the road won the lottery, so why don't I pay a £2 ticket? You could probably buy a lottery ticket through your whole life and never win it. But the point is somebody's got to. So if you owned a little BitAxe home miner, and can you imagine if you won nearly 400,000 in Bitcoin? Wouldn't that be worth having, doing? I hate this big breaking bit, but I'm not going to keep editing it out. I hate it. But the University of Tampa, Florida, is launching its first ever Bitcoin course this year. Can you imagine? We are not a million miles away from Bitcoin courses happening in schools, colleges, and universities across the world. Why do I know that? Because we look at this chart. Bitcoin has reached just 2% of all the global money. If you don't believe we can take 5 or 10% of the global money, then you have no belief in Bitcoin. That is coming. We are going to eat into gold's market cap. We are going to eat in and take dollar money away from the dollar, where people move it out of the dollar and into Bitcoin. We're going to eat into the property markets. We're going to eat into fine art, equities, the money itself, and everything else. It is coming, people. Ignore the crazy day-to-day price charts that will literally send you stir crazy if that's all you are watching. I watch them because I want to know what's going on, because I've got a Bitcoin show and I want to be up to date with it all. But if you're just stacking Bitcoin and following 1 or 2 shows a week, you don't need to be worrying what's going on with the day-to-day charts, because you're not doing the flip side of all the research to understand why Bitcoin is doing what it's doing. For instance, you might go, why did it drop to 110k last night? Well, by all accounts, apparently a whale dumped 24,000 BTC. Bosh! Just like that. Tanked the price down. Did you know that? And if you didn't, you don't need to look at charts. Because if you don't know that, stop looking at charts, because when it dumps, you'll think it's all over. I need to sell my BTC and I need to get out. And you'd be wrong. Okay, I found this great quote from Einstein. Education is not the learning of facts. It is the training of the mind to think. What an amazing quote. Adam Meister always said in the early days of me following his channel, he's in the chat right now, you need to be a critical thinker. You need, long-term thinking. You need to criticize or be critical of everything. Don't take everything at face value. Be a confident decentralist. Get in the 20%ers, not in the 80%ers. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Thank you, Adam Meister, for your teachings. I feel blessed to know you. I really do. The point is, you don't want to learn facts to pass tests. What you want to do is train your mind to be a critical thinker. That way, you'll question everything and you won't go far wrong. Oh, sorry. If you want to support the show and I don't expect it, there are 3 Sats addresses. They're gone. But if you want to, you can wind the show back and pause it and scan one and send a few Sats. But I've said a million times before, I don't run the show for financial gain. I do it for the love of helping noobs not get wrecked by the pump and dump schemes that are clearly out there. But I've run over my time, which I hate doing. But it is what it is. Hopefully, you all got something from it. Hopefully, none of you have taken any of this as financial advice. It is just a 35-minute show to give you an insight into what's going on out there in the markets. Please retweet it. Please consider subscribing if you're new, and then hitting that bell button and clicking all. I go live every Monday and every Thursday at 6 p.m. UK time for around 30 minutes. I've gone a bit long today, but there was a lot to cover. If you're on the podcast, thank you for listening. Please share this where you are listening. And please, people, before you check out, do go back into the show when the stream has ended, refresh your browser and leave me a comment, because it really does help build the show up so I can get more people finding pure Bitcoin signal channels like mine. Because do you know what? I happen to believe they are very few and far between. There's a lot of hype out there, and you're not going to get it from me. Going to leave you with Chelsea Baz's awesome song about broken money. I'll be back on Thursday with another live show. Thanks for being here. Have a great week. See you all on Thursday.